Let's talk about Andrew Gillum, because today he is launching a massive voter registration group dedicated to taking down Trump. You'll remember he did lose the most recent race for governor of Florida by less than half a point. Meanwhile, the Florida Democratic Party says it will spend $2 million in the next year to register 200,000 voters ahead of next year's presidential primary. Florida Democratic Party Chairwoman Terry Rizzo said the party has not dedicated enough resources to registering voters in recent years, and there are currently 4.96 million registered Democrats in the state compared to 4.7 million Republicans and nearly 3.6 million voters with no party affiliation. And many people thought, and I think some were hoping, that Gillum would respond to the loss by running for president, kind of like Beto. But it seems his focus is getting more registered voters to the polls, which one could say is, much more important.
This is the way. Of course, you always start from, I guess, as much local political change as you can, because that's where it builds. Everyone focuses so much on the presidential race. Right. Oh, and the president's going to do this. So when the president is in office, he can't do everything, despite what our current president thinks and is attempting. They can't do everything. He's not going to go and change what's happening in Florida. So Andrew Gillum is in Florida. He's a Floridian. He's looking to change the problems there. And then once that happens, maybe there's some groundswell of people thinking, hey, I do have some level of control and power over what happens in my state. Maybe some citizens realize, hey, maybe my vote does count. We talked about the millions of voters that are there, either unregistered or unaffiliated, and you're not sure where their political leanings could be as long as you go out and reach out to them and tell them what their power is if they do vote. I
mean, then going back to the story we were just talking about, like especially in a time when their state lawmakers are trying to stop people from voting. All right, I have a little more on this. Of course, we all know voting registration in Florida matters a lot. Of course, Trump's campaign already has its eye on Florida. And as Politico pointed out, if a Democrat can carry Florida in 2020, he or she could win the White House by capturing just one other swing state, Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, or Pennsylvania. And that's if the remaining states voted the way they did in 2016.
You know who else knows that?
Who else knows that?
These folks that are trying to limit or to actually subvert the voting process that happened with Amendment 4 in the midterm elections. They know if there's any kind of change in the voting, what it could do for bigger elections like the White House. They know this. That's why they know how big Florida is and want to make sure it stays the way they want it to be.
And so it just kind of reminds me of how like Stacey Abrams kind of responded. And we don't really know what everyone's doing as far as running for president, but she's spearheading that lawsuit challenging Georgia's elections and how they're run. Michael Bloomberg announced he's not going to run for president. A lot of people happy about that. And instead, he's going to fund a voter registration effort in multiple states. And it does kind of make me think what change could be made in Texas if the popularity that Beto O'Rourke has was put into getting more voters to the polls.
Yeah, or even, I'm not going to assume it's not going to happen. Or if your presidential aspirations don't pan out and you're from a state like Texas and your name happens to be Beto O'Rourke, then maybe you do take that new notoriety. Right. Because a lot of people run for president for notoriety. Let's keep it real. And many of them are like, okay, this is going to boost something else that I'm looking to do in my life. Once you have that boost, see what you can do and see how committed you actually are to the political process and advancing real agendas in America.
Yeah, better chances of winning many more races if that's where your efforts are, for sure.
If that's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Because we know presidents without other support from other elements of the government actually a lot of times are handicapped. We saw what happened with President Obama. We had many complaints about the approaches he took when he did have the majority and also had control of Congress with the Democratic Party. And we saw how much worse it got once he lost that control.
I just can't stop thinking about how close all of these races were. And yeah, if the voters, more voters on their side made it to the polls, the changes that could have been made just last November.
So we can complain about, people in other aspects of office and how Congress never has a positive approval rating. But get people in office that you like, and you're going to have positive approval ratings for people that are there. Look, and we know the types of characters that scare many of those in power, like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. We know the new folks that have come into Congress. If you fill it with those types of folks that are actually listening to the will of the people, maybe you might change some of the opinions.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for watching this clip from The Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.